how they would help her. Well, at least she hoped it would be. "You're welcome. Help yourself to any of Leandro's clothing. I know he won't mind." "Well, that's if you want any of it. He does have terrible taste, and his stuff might be a bit too big for you. There's a store in town where we could pick something up for you if you'd like." Massimo smiled again, nodding the whole time. "Yes, I think that would be a better idea," he muttered, answering his own question. "I've washed your clothes. They're just drying outside," Leandro told Ryder, appearing behind Massimo. Ryder gaped at him, shaken. He actually washed my clothes? No one has ever done anything like that for me before. "Thank you," she stuttered. "You didn't need to do that." Leandro shrugged. "It was no problem. It was laundry night anyway." Massimo nodded, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he regarded Leandro proudly. "My son is very domesticated." "One of us has to be, Pops," Leandro replied with a sideways look at his father. "Come now, son." Massimo shooed Leandro in the direction of the kitchen. "Let's leave Ryder to wake up." Ryder watched them leave with a wry smile touching one corner of her lips. Their double act warmed her heart, and she decided to trust her gut feeling. She saw the love they had for each other in their every interaction. There was no way that these two could be evil. She closed the door behind them and quickly changed her clothes before following the delicious aroma she'd awoken to back to its source. She paused in the kitchen doorway, seeing Leandro at the stove, and Massimo and Carter at the table. She yawned again and rubbed the sleep from her eyes. "Morning, sleepyhead," Carter called around a mouthful of food. He speared a rasher of bacon from his plate, which was piled high with 3 fried eggs, a big blob of scrambled, sausages, bacon, tomatoes, beans, and bread. He still had the bows in his beard, although he'd redone them. Clearly, Jessica, the little girl from Carter's settlement who usually did Carter's braids, wasn't the only one skilled at them. Carter noticed her looking at the bows. "Your hair's a mess in the morning," he teased, waving his fork in the direction of her head. Ryder stuttered. "What the—" "My hair looks like it always does." She ran her hand over her head. There was no hair to be messy. "Carter, you jerk," Ryder accused. She couldn't believe she'd let Carter wind her up so easily. Carter stuck his tongue out, and Leandro grinned as he pushed the bacon around in the pan. Ryder inhaled deeply. It smelled so good. Leandro held out a beer for Ryder, and his grin softened to something more empathetic. "Would you like something to drink?" he asked. "You must be thirsty." She looked at the beer long and hard before reluctantly nodding. Leandro smiled again and nodded to her, and she took it since she was always thirsty. Carter looked at them puzzled. "A beer? First thing in the morning? I would complain that I wasn't offered one, but even for me it's a bit early." "I have to agree with Carter. It is a bit early," Massimo agreed, looking confused. Leandro shook his head. "It's not like that, Pops. Ryder's like tightwad," he explained. Massimo nodded in understanding. "Oh, that makes perfect sense." Ryder looked at Leandro and wondered, how had he known? Then she realized he must have seen her drinking water when he was a wolf. "Oh, Fluffy." She flushed with embarrassment at what Leandro must have thought of her while she was wasted on swamp water. Carter continued to look puzzled. "Is someone going to tell me what's going on? What's a tightwad? Am I going to get a beer or not?" He looked from here to Leandro with a hopeful expression. Ryder winked at him. "You're not," she teased. She was going to need a clear head today. Ryder took a sip and sighed as the cold, sharp liquid brought blessed relief to her parched throat. "Damn, that's good. Thanks." "Alcohol is like water for Ryder, and water is like alcohol. Correct me if I'm mistaken," Massimo checked. Ryder made a face and took another sip. "You're correct." He was correct, but Ryder had hoped to keep that part a secret. Massimo pretended not to notice. He got up and went to rummage in a cupboard. He pulled out a bottle and a flask and held them aloft like trophies he'd won. "We'll pack you some of the nice strong stuff for when we're out and about, plus a flask of water. That's what Tightwad does when he doesn't want to get drunk. Unless you want to get drunk, which I'm also fine with." He beamed. "I'll go with the first option. I'd like to stay sober," Ryder said quickly. Massimo nodded. "That can be arranged, but the offer of getting drunk on the porch..."